Everyone, I've got some old footage here about me kind of like ranting about the balancing issues of Battlefront 2, and I would just like to share that with you guys and some of the things that I find to be not so fun with the game in terms of like the actual balancing that EA did. I feel like they did a great job with the Clone Wars era, and they did a pretty decent job with First Order, but they were very lackluster on like the Rebellion era, or like the original trilogy. So I just want to talk about that today. There's some huge balancing issues, mainly with the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire. Not so much with the main units, because those are the same. It's and the maps are fine too. There's nothing really wrong with the maps. It's the reinforcements that are like just so insanely different from one another that it's just unfair. Like EA, I mean, they did a banger job with the Clone Wars, like balancing that. They did a great job. The sequels, they did a decent job. It still feels a little lopsided, more so on the First Order side of things, because of the Sith Trooper and the aerial trooper that can just hover. That feels a little busted, but that's a little bit of a side note. But yeah, where I see the biggest issue here is with the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire. And the Galactic Empire also gets Darth Vader, who's arguably like one of the best Sith heroes in the game. Like he's just so overpowered compared to what the Rebellion gets. In terms of reinforcements, though, the Imperial and the Rebel rocket jumper, they're pretty well the same. The only difference is their blaster. They get the Imperial rocket trooper gets the E11. The jump trooper gets the A280C, which is it's pretty good. So yeah, both weapons fine. But the real issue is with the Enforcer. The rebels, they get the Wookiee warrior, which, don't get me wrong, like he could do some crazy work if you know how to play him well. Like he's got ground slam, which is good for knocking heroes and other tough reinforcements on the ground, and he's got a thermal imploder, which is it's just crazy, dude. The thermal imploder is amazing. But that's pretty well all the positives. I mean, he's got a decent health pool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he gets 320 health. You know, the standard. Pretty nice. Costs 1,500 points, which is, I mean, not bad. The Wookiee warrior, he's got the bowcaster. It has a fire rate of 80 RPM and a damage of 30 to 8, which is, and the explosion is 15. And the overload, it temporarily increases the Wookiee's bowcaster's fire rate to 100 RPM, which is, dude, it's not that good. The thing is slow. The thing is so slow. And the damage is very much so not there. If you had a damage buff, that would be great. But there's no damage buff at all. There's nothing to go by, really. It's just, it's not good. If we take a look at the Death Trooper, which is the Enforcer for the Galactic Empire, you can see he's got 320 HP, the same as the Wookiee Warrior. He's armed with the E11D blaster. He's got a Sonic Imploder, which is really good. He's got Fortify, which is amazing, and he's also got Overload, like the Wookiee Warrior does. But if we go to his weapon stats, look at the damage. 40 to 25. That's already better than the Wookiee's bowcaster, which you think a bowcaster would hit harder than an E11. And the rate of fire is insane. It's 300 RPM, which is already triple that of the bowcaster. The overload, which makes it slightly better, but not, amazing. It takes up to 360, which is almost 100 RPM more. And look at the damage, 240 to 150. Yeah, that's not as good as the overload on the Wookiee, but still though, like, this unit is just an absolute tank. Yeah, the Sonic Imploder, in my opinion, is better than the Wookiee's thermal detonator. So the thermal detonator, it just implodes and it does like 200 damage in a blast radius of 7 meters, whereas the Sonic Imploder has a blast radius of 10 meters, an inner blast radius of 3, and a flash radius of 10. It's just like a thermal imploder on steroids. with being able to damage units, it also blurs enemy vision. This is where I see the most prominent effect when it comes to like playing Supremacy or Galactic Assault. When I meet a Death Trooper, I'm just like, you just can't take them down. They're hard to take down. They're fast. Their gun shoots fast. They've got good abilities. They're just all around. They're just super stable. Probably one of the best reinforcements that the Galactic Empire has to offer. Whereas I think, in my personal opinion, the Rebel Alliance, their best reinforcement is the Rocket Jumper. The Rocket Jumper is great. They're not like gonna make a huge difference in the battlefront. I don't know what they were thinking when they sat down and were like, all right, let's make an Ewok their infiltrator. Like what? What? They could use something else other than the Ewok. Yeah, they showed up on Endor for like one episode. Great, you know, cool. But why make them the infiltrator? There could have been something else. Why not use the Bothan spy for the infiltrator? That would have been a perfect fit. And yeah, let's take a look at the stats here real quick. Ewok, you know, 250 HP. Got the Hunter's Bow. He has a passive called Out of Sight. So it is kind of useful. It says when staying crouched, it speeds up your cooldowns by 50%. You know, that's pretty significant, but I mean, the abilities are already not that great. It's got Whistle Pouch. So the Whistle Pouch is basically an improved version of the acid launcher that the Assault class gets, which is already not great, but I mean, it's good for like choking off like certain areas of the map for a little bit, but it's still, I mean, it's not great. And yeah, the ability duration, you know, 10 seconds, that's quite a bit of time, but it takes 40 seconds to recharge, or I guess 20 for crouch. But still, that's insane. That's like quite a bit of time for something that's pretty mediocre. Like total damage is 118. Like you ain't killing anybody with this thing, dude, unless they're already low HP and you just get them right. And well, then you'd be like, oh, you know, well, it slows, dude. Like 2 rolls and you're out of this thing, and it's just like not a threat anymore. You just walk around it. So already not that good. The Ewok also gets a spear. It's a melee weapon in a shooter-based game. You're probably never gonna get to use this thing unless you somehow run behind the enemy. The Ewok also has Hunter's Instincts, which is basically just highlighting targets and showing them like yellow full health, red for wounded, which is, I guess, good if you want to pick someone off, but other than that, I mean, it's okay. It's kind of just like a weird wall hack. It also got the Valiant Horn, spots enemies on scanners, grants 50% damage reduction, increases bow auto target damage to 58, and increases melee damage to 60 to the front, 100 to the rear. And then finally onto the ISB agent. And if you look here, the health, 100 more than the Ewok already. Which, yeah, you're a bigger target, so better rate of fire. They also have a passive ability. They replenish a little bit of health whenever they kill someone on melee. Damage reduction while sprinting with the assault training. Only takes 25 seconds to recharge. Really good time on that. You get a scanner, reveals up to 10 enemies for the ISB agent. Revealed enemies start at 4 and increase with each kill. So it's a pretty good ability. And then double your effort, which is hands down probably their best ability. It lasts 10 seconds in a AoE of 12 meters. And it heals teammates and the ISB agent for 50 HP per second. That is so good. Another thing, I think EA just kind of looked at the Rebel Alliance and the Galactic Empire and was like, well, you know, who cares about them? And like their Supremacy maps, you don't even go to space like you do, or you don't even board ships like you do in the other ones. You just, the game is over. It's one team hits 100, done. That's it. Maps, yeah, they're balanced, but it's just like they did not get the same treatment as what the other factions did, and it's kind of disappointing to see that. I wish they would have put a little bit more love to the Galactic Empire, because, I mean, honestly, it was like my favorite era, but they did a really good job with the Clone Wars, and then they gave a little bit of love to the sequels, and then they just kind of were like, we're done. That's it. But that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. All I can say is just keep begging for Battlefront 3, and maybe it'll come true, and hopefully it gets a lot more love and support and a way better launch than what Battlefront 2 did.